Okay, I am joined by Beverly Wilson, and she is the author of the book, Betty's Beauty. Beverly, tell me a little bit about yourself and your book.
Well, my book is about how we grew up and how trying times in your life can actually be God directing you. It just doesn't seem like it at the time. And you can go through things and experience things that you just don't see the hand of God in it right away. And now all these years later, I learned so much more. I'm looking back at different things and, just looking at things in a different perspective, really. And I just learned so much for that. And so I was compelled to write it because writing is so healing, and I think that everybody should write.
Yeah. So is it basically a collection of your experiences and kind of what you've learned?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's all different experiences, and then the hand of God, how it was in each one of them. I mentioned my sons in there and things that they went through, and my grandsons mentioned in there, and just I apologize to my mother for all the bad things I ever did. Unfortunately, she wasn't here to read it, but she definitely was helping me write it.
and the book is in dedication to your mom, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the very beginning. And it just said, there was a time when I went back to her and I said, I'm sorry for everything I ever did, but I learned so very much. And the things that you learn along the way are really what really compelled me to write it, and what brought me to the point of starting to recognize that there was a problem, that, I was dealing with things in a different way, and then how my view on things came to change.
Yeah, you're so right. Our personal experiences are such great teaching tools. For us to learn from, and to also be able to help other people learn. So when you were writing this and you were thinking about, or maybe if you were thinking about who your reader was going to be, who were you hoping that this book would help, and how were you hoping that it would help them?
Well, it's a funny thing. One chapter is my niece is battling metastatic breast cancer. And so in one aspect of it, I was looking at this tree. It was a small pine, and it was really just hanging by a thread, just had one little branch. And I thought, I should pull this out. Looking at that, and there are times in our life when we only need that one little tiny piece, that little tiny piece of hope. And I thought this would be a great story to tell somebody. Let me go back and find this tree. I'm going to take a picture of it. When I went back, the tree had grown to the point where it was blended in with the other trees. I couldn't tell. I couldn't identify it. You know what I mean? So that was the point, is that, I wrote it for anybody who might be going through anything, and they're just buried underneath of it. But if you just stop for just a second, and reanalyze it and look at it, there's hope there. It might be the tiniest little piece, but it's there. There's something in you. There's somewhere you got to go, and you can get there. And that's really basically what it was. I came to a point where I had to identify what was going on with myself, and then I thought, this would be a great thing to share with other people, because it tells you anything. Any moment can be a moment. And that was it.
Yeah, man, that's such a powerful message, because we all go through things in life where we feel like we've been buried underneath something. And so it sounds like, gosh, there's so many people that could learn and grow from your book and the message of your book. So tell me a little bit about publishing, and how did that go for you as far as publishing a book, and publishing specifically through Christian Faith Publishing?
Well, with Christian Faith Publishing, what really, really resonated with me was the fact that from the very beginning, they told me that they believed in the message that I was trying to say. That my author's assistant told me, that reassured me all the time, we really believe in your message. We really believe in your message. But I'm a writer, but I'm not a grammatical writer per se. And so every time they kept sending it back, and she would say, listen, whatever you do, we're not trying to change the spirit in which it is written, because we love how it is written. Just trying to fix some of the errors. And so when it came back, sometimes some pages were like, there were all red lines through it and everything, but they never ever changed the spirit of it. And they assured me of that, and they were right on top with me at all the time. Any questions that I had, anything I was thinking, they were so encouraging. And as a writer, it's really great to have somebody who believes in what you're doing, and then when they hand it back to you and you're actually looking at your thoughts in the hard piece right there. It was overwhelming. It was a thrilling moment to open that box. My assistant tells you your books are on the way. To open that book and actually look at it, and then I started getting feedback from people who had read it. So I literally couldn't put it down. I read it cover to cover. I couldn't put it down. I read it 3 and 4 times. Like when it's your story and your message, and somebody comes along and they go, you know what? We believe in your message. We're going to get behind this and, you know, move this forward. And then you get that feedback. There's no greater reward than that. And it helps people, you know, it's helping them. And there's no greater reward than that.
Yeah, man, that sounds amazing. Just to have somebody that says, hey, we believe in you. We're getting behind your message. Like, you've got the message, but we're going to be the vehicle to get it to where it needs to go.
Right. That's exactly right. It was a positive experience from start to finish. They helped me every step of the way, and they just couldn't have been more gracious. I loved it.
That's awesome. Okay, again, the book is called Betty's Beauty, and it is by Beverly Wilson, and it can be found in all places where books are sold.
That's right.
Amazon and all that good stuff. Beverly, thank you so much. Your book sounds like it could be an inspiration for so many. Thank you for sharing your life experiences and putting it all out there so that others can learn and grow. And thank you for doing this with me. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome, Beverly.